Good afternoon, sir. Hurry drawn up in open order, ready to wait your inspection. Sir. Stand fast, the number one gate! Remain there! Stand there! Hey!
Good afternoon, everybody. Words are insufficient to express my emotions as I stand before you today. If I may attempt modestly, I must say I am indeed humbled, gratified, if not totally overwhelmed, with the love and support that is present from the rank and file and civil society here today. It is a good thing to appreciate the contributions of a retiring Commissioner of Police with a gall of honor. It is an honor to have been given the opportunity to inspect the fine men and women who have supported me and have served with bravery and excellence under my command. This I cannot afford to go unnoticed, and so I want you to know I really appreciate it. For me, this is the beginning of the end. The end of a long-standing career as a public servant. One that I carried with pride and distinction. I am proud that to the end I am able to live with my professional integrity intact. My professional integrity, of course, has been shaped by following and adhering to the basic morals and values of our professional organization. Admit it, the position of Commissioner of Police is not the easiest job in town, especially in these times. I am reminded by the words of the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Sam Conda. Just yesterday he said, "We don't write our script, it is already written. We have to take the hand that is dealt to us." The Honorable Minister went on to say, Mr. Williams was appointed Commissioner of Police during some of the most difficult times during the history of our country. Times of increasing crime, and in particular increasing homicide. Times of increasing breakdown in values and standards in society. And times of reduced or limited resources. He summed it up by saying, I was given a triple whammy. While all that the minister said was true, I saw this not as a limitation, but as an opportunity to dig deeper. And instead of making the lack of resources a problem, I became more resourceful. I dare say the defining factor is not finding resources, it is resourcefulness. Of course, this by no means means that I did not try every possibility there is to lobby the powers that be to provide what I think was needed to accomplish our goals. It will come as no surprise to you though that the position of Commissioner of Police is a position that is riddled with controversy, public scrutiny, and a full circle of pressures. Equally, and I say equally, I will maintain that for me it came with a full circle of praise and a full circle of love and support from family, friends, and colleagues. This is why I was able to manage and maintain my course to the roughest seas. To you, I say thanks today. I wouldn't be here this evening if it had not been for your constant love and praise. After years of dedicated and professional service, controversial at times maybe, I was sworn in as Commissioner of Police in February of 2008. Then, a lot more people got to know me in a way that they have experienced my love and concern for humanity. I am happy that even now I am leaving, more people are expressing that I have touched their lives or contributed to their existence in some way or the other. For this, I am eternally grateful to you because I have been equally enriched, if not more, by doing my all to pour into you and to help protect our beautiful Federation. I have had an excellent and rewarding career with few regrets, but I have registered a number of tragedies along the way, which would probably be the most difficult part of my career. As Commissioner of Police, I attended 3 funerals of police officers, 1 who died tragically, and 2 of natural causes. and to bury my son who died tragically. For every funeral I attended for a colleague, I would say how grieved I was, because my colleagues were all under my charge and I felt a responsibility as if they were my biological children. I dare say the loss of my son was the ultimate law enforcement sacrifice. When you are entrusted with the mandate to secure the nation and tragedy hits home, the guilt and negative emotions could be overwhelming. My greatest challenge was to be so overwhelmed by such grief and still have a strong presence as the remainder of the force was looking to the Commissioner for guidance and direction. I believe the strength I exhibited set the tone when the two were going through the same grief mixed with uncertainty. I am grateful to many persons who counseled and assisted me during those times and still continue up to today. The outpouring of love and prayers has been more than sufficient. It is what brought us through. The moral of the story is that working together and supporting each other every inch of the way will keep us winning. But if we tear each other apart, we will die individually. I had great times as well. Many great experiences and memories. So great an experience in my case that I am certain in due time the positive memories will help to neutralize my losses. I enjoyed very much playing sports with my fellow officers. I was involved in the sports club for almost all of my service in some way or the other. We trained together, traveled together, and claimed many victories as well. Yes, we lost some as well. I will not forget my ducks, especially after boasting of a century to come. On a more serious note, we do not have a perfect police force, and I don't think there is one anywhere in the world. However, when I do the math, I am not only convinced, but I know we have a very good police force. Three of the officers, a significantly large majority of you, still hold the ideals of the mission of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force dear to your heart. To uphold the law fairly and firmly, without fear or favor, to prevent crime, to pursue and bring to justice those who break the law, to keep the peace, to protect, help and reassure residents and visitors, and to be seen to do all this with integrity and impartiality. Continue to hold these ideals close to your heart. Continue to be steadfast in returning our nation to a peace and tranquility that we once know. Officers, remember to preserve and defend your core values in performing your mission. Be dedicated to the rule of law and the Constitution of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Have respect for the dignity of those we protect. Demonstrate compassion, fairness and firmness at all times, and practice uncompromising personal and institutional integrity at all times. If you continue to practice these and be relentless in your pursuits, I have no doubt that it is just a matter of months before we begin to take back our streets and rid them of gangsterism. I am satisfied within myself, that I am leaving a professional organization behind with potential to go from strength to strength. I will be the first to admit that some officers can raise the bar to enhance the service we provide, and that will be one of the challenges for my successor, Mr. C.G. Walwyn. I have had the opportunity to interact with him, and there is no doubt that he has more than what it takes to confront these challenges head-on and overcome them. I am satisfied that the force is going to be in good hands, and so the gangsters will not get a chance, a grace period. Mr. Walwyn has assured us that he will hit the ground running. His honeymoon is over long before he got married. The work of the police throughout the region must be complemented with sustained access to modern communication, available technology, reliable and modern transportation, training, and remuneration. Senior officers continue to advocate for the basic tenets of policing, that of patrols and responses. Patrols now must be more strategic and direct, and must be aggressive and relentless. Similarly, I expect responses to reports to be faster and more efficient and more tactical to counter the street smart of the criminals. I expect officers to be assertive and consistent in their fight against crime and violence. I also wish to see a continuance of intelligence gathering in a more intense way. I have long been an advocate for community policing approach. Contrary to popular beliefs, it is not soft policing. It is a type of policing that engages the public to get their eyes and ears, and in so doing, gain their trust and confidence once more. There are some initiatives that I had hoped to see complete before I leave. Closed circuit television network in St. Kitts and Nevis, traffic patrol unit, new police stations in Tabernacle, Sandy Point, and St. Paul's, public bus stops, visible police presence in our communities, witness protection program, a gang exit program, and a community policing program. I want to implore on your commissioner to keep blazing the trail to ensure that some of these initiatives come into being. I will look on in eager anticipation for at least some of these to come on stream in the not too distant future. I am proud of our achievements and the contributions we were able to make. I must be reminded at all times that I did not do it alone. I am thankful to all who supported me, particularly my family who stood by me all the time, and to Almighty God for giving me the strength and courage to come to work and deal with so many different personalities. I have kept the faith and have completed my leg of the race. I did it my way. It is now time to pass the baton. I am looking forward to a rewarding and stress-free retirement. Finally, I wish to say thanks to all the members of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, to include the civilian staff for their dedication and support. I would also like to say thanks to all other law enforcement agencies and partners. Thanks to the media for your balanced reporting and assistance during my tenure, and trust that the force can continue to look forward to the support you will have given me. I am also extremely grateful to all who are instrumental in putting this guard of honor together for me. This is truly the high point of my career, and I am truly grateful. May God continue to bless you all richly.
Premier of Nevis and other members of the Nevis Island Administration, other honorable members of the National Assembly, members of the Diplomatic Corps, senior government officials, Commissioner Austin Williams and other heads of security forces, other members of the High Command and the rank and file of the security forces, especially the St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, my wife and daughters and the entire family who have traveled here from overseas, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And good afternoon to the residents and visitors of St. Kitts and Nevis, and to the listeners of this forum from around the world. I thank you for taking the time to witness this moment in history as the pendulum of change swings throughout the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I thank you for joining me in embracing this change. I would be doing a great disservice if I did not acknowledge the U.S. Virgin Islands Police Department, who embraced a program called Police Free Cadets, started by one teenager, the late Edwin Elias, as a means of providing teenagers an alternative to juvenile delinquency in the 1970s. Through the original leadership of police officers Claudia Peterson, Raymond Matthew, Kike Santos, Carmen Bastion, Anton Christian, Ansel Alexander, and civilians like Cora Hodge and the late Gladys Perez and Vivian Benison, the police pre-cadets provided a forum that would shape me during my formative years. One of my early mentors is sitting here with me today. Lieutenant Ansel Alexander is a forensics expert who has come to the Federation with me to review and build on our forensic capabilities in collecting, preserving, and presenting evidence to trial, which will increase the level of conviction for those committing crimes in our Federation. This is great news for the law-abiding citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. It is bad news for the criminals. I acknowledge my Florida and Texas law enforcement families, some of whom are present or are listening on the internet. I wish to acknowledge Orange County Sheriff Jerry L. Demings, Captain Al Rodriguez, and Sergeant Stacy Moore of the Tourist-Oriented Policing Unit at Walt Disney World in Orlando. As the sheriff has previously stated, they are willing to partner with us in our efforts to fight crime within this federation. It's an honor to have y'all here today. My name is C.G. Walwyn, and I stand before you today as the next commissioner of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. As many of you have heard, I was born right behind me on Birch Street, right here in Bastia. To Audrey Walwyn, and Assistant Superintendent of Police, Zephaniah Joseph. And no, I am not Phil Joseph's son, I'm his baby brother. I attended the St. Johnson's Methodist Church and the Antioch Baptist Church until age 13 before moving to St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where I was raised by my mother, my new father, James Bergie Benjamin, and my uncles Spencer Walwyn and his wife Ivy, who adopted me as their son. I attended the College of the Virgin Islands and studied police science and administration before moving to the U.S. mainland. Mario Moorhead, a very wise man, taught me that wherever I encountered adversities in life, I must always remember who I am and where I come from. And though I have traveled thousands of miles from home, I have never forgotten where I came from and have well represented my family, my home, and my adopted home everywhere I went. The process of being raised by the village has prepared me to serve the Federation. Today, I stand before you as the incoming Commissioner of Police for the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. As we embark on a mission to make St. Kitts and Nevis a safer place for both residents and visitors alike, I am reminded that while persons can be trained as managers, leaders must have the innate or inborn ability to lead. In my academic pursuits, I have attained a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice, a Bachelor's degree in Theology, a Master's of Degree in Security Management with a concentration on Homeland Security, and I have completed my final examination for a PhD in Public Safety with a concentration in Leadership. Not only do I have the academic background to lead this agency, I also have the administrative capacity to lead, having served as a Texas Police Chief and Director of Surveillance of an international investigation company. Along the way, I've learned that leaders must have the ability to recognize their own strengths and weaknesses. What's more, they must also have the ability to recognize the strengths and weaknesses of their subordinates. This is why institutional professionalism is only as good as the ethics and integrity of the supervisor who claims them. Therefore, it would be impossible for leaders to expect subordinates to behave ethically or for supervisors to demand integrity from the officers when said supervisors violate department policy, reveal sensitive information, and use the police force resources to pursue private interests. Leaders must be dedicated and committed to the philosophies of the organization and to operate within the established laws and codes of behavior expected of them. Similarly, the primary obligation of leadership, especially among law enforcement agencies, is the creation of a civil and morally enabling work environment that is conducive to maximum productivity. The more aggressively a leadership group can move to establish such an environment, the easier and faster the goals of an ethical environment can be achieved. Professionalism can reign, and corruption and other vices will be stamped out. Furthermore, it has been stated that good leaders should be able to avoid the possibility of organizational politics developing to a level that impedes the functionality and success of the organization. As Commissioner of Police, I pledge to you that I, with your support, will embark on a progressive and proactive approach to reducing crime and violence in the Federation. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force will make a difference in crime reduction in this Federation. The citizens can be assured that all police officers in this organization will be held accountable for their actions beginning in my office. As a police officer who has worked the streets in 2 states, I know that there are sometimes overzealous officers who at times can step out of bounds in the performance of their duties. But I also know there are those officers who go out of their way to help citizens they come in contact with. I have heard a lot about the first group of officers. I want to hear more about the second group of officers. I would like to hear about these officers because I plan to build on the policy that investigates complaints against police officers, but I also want to commend officers who go beyond the call of duty in serving the public. I realize that not all persons might share this sentiment, but to my officers, I believe in acknowledging those who have done and continue to do their best to make St. Kitts and Nevis a better and safer place to live. With the rise in crime in our community, I too am concerned about the senseless killings of our young people. The unnecessary loss of any life of any member of this Federation affects and should affect every member of this Federation. To the members of the gangs of this Federation, you have caused many mothers to cry, and the sad thing is that you may cause many more to cry. However, as I have stated, business as usual in this federation is over. I do not have a problem with you individually. I have a problem with your actions as a group. To you as an individual, the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force is dedicated to helping you exit the gang. We are establishing gang strategies to help you leave. Those of you who are sincere, we are willing to help you. Those of you who are bent on continuing your crime spree, we will fight you at every turn and will partner with the Defense Force in our efforts to eradicate you from our community. The residents and citizens of this country must be able to live without fear. Your self-serving stance and retaliatory practices of taking the law in your own hands will not be tolerated. Gangsterism is not synonymous with our culture and our lifestyle in this Twin Island Federation. The government has the programs and has invested the resources to help make a difference in your life. Listen to me. Walk away from the culture of guns, gang, and ganja, or face the consequences. Parents, I'm speaking to you now, and I'm a parent myself. I love my children, and I know you love your children. But I must make myself very clear to you. The Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, these men and women out here, and the ones who are on the beat, from this day, are no longer going to play with your children. We will enforce the law as strong as we can against them if they continue in their criminal enterprise. I'm going to support my officers 100% if they are correct. I want you to know that. But if my officers are wrong, they will be investigated, and wherever their punishment falls within the policy, that's what will be administered. Parents, I'm talking to you again. We are determined to take back the streets of the Federation, and will do whatever is necessary to remove your violent children from these streets. Please, please, as a parent, I'm begging you, I'm asking you, speak with your children and take what we are offering, because as of today, all gloves are off.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us remain standing as our dignitaries and officials depart us.